Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and guess what? It's real. I have officially acquired the minifigure Scorpios Rex from Mattel. This is a canceled figure that unfortunately never saw the light of day, and honestly I think there wasn't really much known about it until just maybe a year or two ago. To my knowledge, I had never even heard of there being a mini Scorpios until a friend of mine who collects prototypes had told me that he actually had one and he had shown it off to me, and I did include this in my video that I had made for Mattel when it comes to canceled figures and stuff that were definitely going to be amazing. I did include this one in that video, but I'm so happy to now finally actually have one in my collection. I recently worked out a deal with my buddy to get a hold of one of these and be able to add it to my collection, and I don't know if this is something that's ever actually going to release from Mattel. If it does, it probably wouldn't be this exact version, because as you can see, if you haven't noticed already, this is of the larger size, which means it's one of the older minis that would have been pre-Dominion before they kind of shrank them down a bit and, repurposed the figures entirely, gave them a totally new material and everything. But we can, of course, take a closer look at what the mini looked like. We've got a nice shot here of the head sculpt. Obviously, for the most part, this is an unpainted prototype. We can't really see any coloration on it outside of the one solid tone of color and the lower jaw, but I kind of feel like that's pretty much what it would have looked like if it had actually been released. I don't think that there would have been a whole lot more to it color-wise than what we see here, because again, it is a mini, but we do have the head sculpt looking pretty reminiscent to the standard Mattel Scorpios Rex. We've got kind of some ridges moving along the top of the head, and one thing that of course is fun, if I can get it open here, it is kind of tricky at times, but it does have an articulated jaw, so we can see the inside of the mouth sports a tongue, and the detail looks pretty decent in there. You've got a little bit of fine detail on the inside of the mouth on the upper side. We can see the teeth are all sculpted out, but they're kind of goofy looking, kind of big and curved and not really that great. But then again, it's a mini, I'm not too surprised. But the jaw does work pretty nicely overall, and the teeth do have an interlocking look, which is pretty cool. As you move further back into the body, you do of course have those, kind of armored scoots moving over the top of the dinosaur. As you lead down, you can see some osteoderms and stuff popping up here and there, basically leading down from the head through the neck and into the shoulder area and then back into the side of the stomach, even leading up into the hip region as well. We have the arms looking very muscular for the figure. You can see the fingers sculpted out as well as the nails, but of course there isn't any nail paint. We do have the quills leading off of the back of the elbow right there. Leading back, we obviously take notice to the fact that the leg is taking a step forward, and we do have some nice muscle definition displayed in the thigh as well as the calf, and we can see another cluster of osteoderms in the thigh. Leading down into the foot sculpt, we do of course have those oversized feet, as we usually do for Mattel minis. We do have the sickle claw and everything right there, and you can see the dew claw is sculpted out just unpainted. And then as we lead back up, we have the tail extending out pretty nicely and then curving here at the end with some quills leading off of the back of the tail. If we take a look at this side, you can see the biggest difference would be the positioning of the arm, where the arm is kind of flat down on the ground over here as the Scorpios is just kind of sneaking along, and then the leg is kind of stretched out here, again showing that sort of sneaky walking motion that we have for the Scorpios Rex. The only problem with mine, as we can see, there are some toes missing on mine, but that's, very minute in the grand scheme of things. Just in general, having the Scorpios Rex mini, to me, even if it's missing a few toes, is just beyond exciting. But that's really about it. There's not much else going on for the figure. I obviously don't think we need size comparisons or anything like that, because it's not something that's going to get released. So really, what's the point? I mean, I guess I could technically bring in a Parasaurolophus mini from Mattel that I have sitting over here. You can see what the size difference is between the Parasaurolophus. This is one of the older Parasaurolophus figures before they kind of shrank them down to the newer size range where they are much, much smaller. But overall, again, I'm just over the moon excited about actually having this, and I know a lot of you guys were interested in this and the fact that, again, it exists, so I really wanted to give you guys the opportunity to kind of take a look at it, check it out, see what could have been when it comes to this Scorpios Rex, and of course just be able to enjoy the figure a little bit, of course, since, you know, unfortunately it doesn't seem like it's going to get released. I mean, maybe it will at some point, maybe it'll show up in the newer minis in a smaller size. I have no idea. I would love to see that happen, but either way, again, it's super cool to be able to see this, and of course even cooler for me to now actually have one for my collection. So in the comments section, let me know what you guys think of this, and of course like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.